Hello everybody, Super Detectives here, and I'm here with a completely random video that has no meaning at all. Yep. So anyway, this is just a thing I'm gonna do randomly where I create a story in my head, and then I say it to you guys. I tell it. Say it, tell it, same thing. And of course, I don't write these stories down at all, so I'm just memorizing this from the top of my head. So if I forget things part of the story and I just pause for a while, you'll know why. Um, besides the point of that, leave in the comments down below if you actually do like this. If you think it's just bad, then don't leave a comment, please. I don't want to see bad comments. I don't want that. Anyway, besides that, oh yeah, Falseborn Kingdom. Just to say that Falseborn Kingdom will be uploaded soon, hopefully. Yes, that is a thing that is going to happen later in the future. But without further ado, the story. The title of it is Burning House. This is the story of a man named Luke. Luke was an average man. He lived an average life. He worked at a bank. He owned a bank. He had a wife and 3 kids and a dog named Max. His parents were visiting today. He had a friend named Tom. He would do anything for Tom. He was his best friend. But one day, this all would change. He sees blackness. Nothing at all. He hears nothing. His body, it feels numb. He doesn't know why. He has the feeling that something tragic has happened. He sees a white light. He starts walking towards it, but a force has stopped him. He doesn't know what it is. He looks closely, and he sees a burning building. No, his burning house. He looks to the cop, and he notices that it's not a cop. Damn it, I messed up the story. Well, what about that? Anyway, he looks to his left, and he notices that it's a medic. The medic looks at him and says, "I'm sorry. None of them survived." His parents were visiting at his house. His parents, his wife, his 3 children, and his dog were dead, burned alive. He can see the body bags rolling out. He falls to his knees, crying in agony. The police were kind enough to give him an apartment, a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment, with prepaid rent for 3 months. He got fired from the bank. He lost ownership. He works for that same bank, but as a janitor. He barely gets enough money to pay the rent. He has no electricity, and the water has been due for 3 months. He's been living in this apartment for 3 years now, spiraling down in despair. He goes to work one day, not even thinking about anything. Suicide wasn't an option for him. He didn't consider it. Of course, he went by his own words. He went by his own words. That if he was human, he'd be at least of use to society. He goes to the bank, but something strange happens. He sees 4 men staring at the bank. He goes to the door and tries opening it. It's locked, with multiple holes in the door. He turns around and notices that these aren't ordinary men. These are robbers. They all have guns, handguns, it looks like. He gets shot multiple times in the arm. As he was reaching for his phone, he looks at his arm. He can feel the pain. But he didn't want to scream. He didn't know why, though. But he just looks at his arm, and you can see the bloody holes all the way down to his hand. He couldn't even see what his hand was. It didn't look like a hand at all. It just looked like a bunch of bone and muscle fused together, stuck. He tries walking towards the robbers. He's compelled to. Then he gets hit in the back of the head by another robber. He falls down to the ground, then can feel something slicing his knees. It was a knife. This one had a knife and a gun. He was more dangerous. He gets shot multiple times in the chest, kind of like an insult to injury. He said to Luke, "This is what snitches get." He takes his tongue and cuts it right off. Again, he can feel pain all throughout his body, but he's compelled not to scream, not to call for help, just to sit there and accept it. He looks at the man's eyes, green, just like Tom, his best friend, the only one he ever trusted and ever again. "No, it can't be Tom," he said in his head. He looked at his hair. It was red, just like Tom's. He looks at his hand, and you can see that it's hairy and white, just like Tom's. He didn't accept this fact. He was fighting his own self-conscience. He got up and headbutted the man, the Tom imposter. He then launches himself at him, biting his forcing the mask off. He looks at him in complete surprise. It was Tom. This friend of his was killing him, literally. He did everything with Tom. Everything. He robbed his own bank for Tom. He killed dozens of people for Tom. He's done horrific things. He knew Tom was evil, but he couldn't leave him. He was the only one left. The only one left. Tom gave him a gun and helped him stand up. Tom then said, "It's your choice." Luke looked at the gun. He looked around and saw his grandparents. He looked around and saw his uncles, his aunts, all visiting him. He looked around and saw his other friends, the ones he never trusted. He looked around and he saw nothing. He pointed the gun straight at his heart. "Luke," he said to himself, "it's time to say goodbye." Realizing what Tom had done, for the first time, he tried doing something nice. He grabbed Luke's arm and tried pulling it back. But somehow, out of superhuman strength, Luke didn't budge at all. He pulled the trigger. He felt the bullet go straight through his heart. It felt relieving. He fell down to the ground, right on the grass, right on the red grass. He can feel his memories fading away, leaving him, in fact. The burning building, his wife, his daughters, his dog, his parents, the memory of pain, the memory of loss, everything was going away. The memory of Tom and the memory of him, the memory of himself faded away. There was nothing there. He saw nothing but blackness. He heard nothing. His body felt numb, but he didn't know why. He felt as if a huge tragedy had happened. He sees a white light. He tries walking towards it, but something stops him. He doesn't know what. He looks closer. It's a burning building. No, it's his burning house.